up, YouTube? Houston here. And for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, salute. And for my favorite pictures, always double salute. No disrespect on the salute for you guys, so please excuse me for that. But for those of you that's been following me, definitely proper salute. Okay? Now, today's video, we're actually going to be talking about Patelco Credit Union, okay? And they're based in California, but anybody in the country can get access to them, okay? Now, some of the things about it, like with certain territories like Puerto Rico, Guam, and stuff like that, they won't service those territories, even though they're associated with the United States. They won't service those. So just to keep an eye out. But we're going to go around about some of these data points so that you all know in terms of you don't need a strong credit score, a 680, 690 credit score in order to get funding through Patelco, okay? Now, here's the thing that I always tell people. If you're trying to get a credit card with these credit unions like Patelco, and they offer the World Elite MasterCard, but they don't offer a Visa Signature card, then their World Elite MasterCard usually starts at about $5,000, and actually it goes up to $50,000, okay? Now, it's the same as with usually the Visa Signature card, okay? So when you're trying to start out with a high line of credit, then depending on your debt to income ratio, more likely you probably want to start, if they don't offer the Visa Signature, you want to start with the World Elite MasterCard, okay? Because a lot of people have found out that they definitely have been getting $5,000 or more. Now, one of the things about Patelco, they can use one inquiry and you can get two accounts with it. Okay, so that means you can get a credit card and a line of credit. Adding to that, you actually can use that same inquiry if you need a car loan. Okay, so that same one inquiry, you can actually get three accounts. So that's a credit card, a line of credit, and a car loan. Okay, so they do soft pull for membership. They do soft pull for credit card and loan offers. But when you decide to accept, because what happens on the soft pull, well, here's the thing, on the soft pull, they'll tell you what you actually qualify for. So once you know exactly how much you qualify for, then they will actually do a hard pull once you accept it. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, if you don't know how to join, you definitely could join through the Financial Fitness Association. That's one of the better ways to join for the guys that are out of state and you don't have nothing that's associated with Patelco Credit Union. The Financial Fitness Association is where you want to start. All right. Like I said, in borrowing up to $5,000, it actually can go higher than that. Now, they pull your Experian FICO 8, okay? Now, and I'm going to share some other accounts with you because if they're pulling Experian FICO 8, your credit score, they want your credit score to be around a 630, right? So they want your credit score to be around a 630. Now, in terms of if they're asking for proof of income, no. They usually would just ask for your driver's license, proof of identity, basically. Okay, so that's what they're going to be asking for. Now, let's talk about some of these internal data points that may help you to get larger lines of credit. Like, if you may have a direct deposit, this is another one of those credit unions. When you find credit unions that will give you funding with low credit scores, then I always tell you, in order to make sure that you get the maximum amount of funding is to make sure you have a strong internal score with them. So that means that if you're able to open up a checking account, if it's possible for you to do direct deposit, they have money market accounts. Plus, they have regular savings accounts. Okay, so those are some of the data points, internal data points that will help you. Now, here's another thing about Patelco. If you have challenging credit, they do have a credit builder program. Their credit builder program goes from 500 up to 5,000. Another thing that they also adding to that, another thing that they also have that would also help you is they have an overdraft protection that starts at 500. It's a loan, so that way if you overdraft, you can use that as well, and that'll report as a trade line as well. So for you guys that are trying to build up your primary trade lines to get a stronger file so you can get more funding, they definitely have products for you. One of the things that they don't have that I wish that they did offer is business accounts. So that way you're able to leverage both the personal side and the personal side as well as the business side. Now they have signature lines of credit. Okay, so this is where people would probably get, say, let's just say hypothetically, they get a $25,000 line of credit, and then they may get a $20,000. Then they may get a $20,000 credit card, and then they may also get a $500 overdraft protection. That's $50,000 right there. Okay, and that's all off of one inquiry. So that's the good part about this situation with Patelco. Now, I made a video about Pennsylvania State Employees Credit Union. I'll put a link below so you can check that out, because they offer business as well as personal accounts also to help you get funding and everything. Like I said, Patelco is great because you don't have to have a 680, 690 credit score. You can start with a 630. But adding to that, you definitely, one of the things that I think you miss out on is because they don't have the business lines of credit. Now, again, if you have, say, a 630 credit score, I always tell people to start leveraging your FICO 9 credit score. So, like with PenFed, I made a video about PenFed and about their internal scoring and everything as well, because PenFed on their FICO 9 is pretty flexible as well, where you can have a 620 credit score and get a $25,000 loan with PenFed. Okay, again, everything is about the debt to income ratio, how long you've been on your job. These are starting to become more and more common. So the good thing about it with PenFed, they pull a FICO 9 Equifax, and in the recent video I made about PenFed, I'll put that link below as well, so you can actually see all the data points and what you need. Okay, now Navy Federal. The thing about Navy Federal, you actually have to have some type of association. Right now with Navy Federal, they're starting to try to be a little more lax in terms of allowing people, just by saying that, hey, you know, my grandfather or my father's in the military. But that doesn't mean, because they'll let you in and open up an account, that doesn't mean they may not follow up and say, can you send me over there DD 214? So if you don't have that proof of military, that can actually get your accounts closed down. So you have to be very careful, unless you have like a relative in the household or a friend in the household, you share the same address, hint, hint, to help you get in. Then you have to be very careful with Navy Federal. And yes, they do give large lines of credit. That's the reason I'm showing you this Visa Signature Cash Rewards card here, because they pull FICO 9. This is the reason I tell you all to leverage your FICO 9. FICO 9 is the back door to being able to get more funding off of the FICO 8 scores. So that's the reason I'm telling you to leverage your FICO 9s. Now, you have upgrade. Minimum credit score is a 560, average credit score is a 678. That doesn't mean you have to have a 678 to get approved, okay? Because they look at other factors. Now, their limits go from 500 up to 50,000. Minimum income is not stated, but average income is about 78,000. Okay, but that doesn't mean you have to have make $78,000 in order to get approved. Okay, but you have to have at least 2 primaries on your credit file. Now, the good thing about them is that their debt to income is way higher. Like with the credit unions and the banks, their debt to income maxes out at about 55%. Well, with Upgrade FICO 9, they're going to max out at 75%. Now, unfortunately, again, you see that they're not available in Colorado, Idaho, New York, Vermont, Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. But that doesn't mean that you can't use other non-tradition financial institutions to get funding. And one of those, where did I have it? It was the Patel card. Now, in reference to the Patel card, it's from 300 to 5,000 and from 300 up to 10,000. Okay, and so again, they're not tripping off of the credit score. They're actually looking at how long you've been on your job, how much your income, what's your DTI, what's your education. So they're using other data points to help you qualify to get funding, but it's FICO 9. So that's the reason I'm telling you guys. Granted that Patelco uses FICO 8 Experian. If you build up your FICO 9, that would transfer over to your FICO 8 to where you're able to get more funding. Now, if you have any questions about business credit, personal credit, or business credit funding, personal credit funding, click the link in the description and schedule one-on-one consultation. Thank you.